All right. That's ready. There we go. Share. I always want to know who jumps in early. Hello, anyone, if you're here. I'm just sharing the link to our audience. Don't get bored and leave. Don't get all pissed.
Actually, I prefer pissed. We'll do it live.
All right.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna send you the link to this light. It's fucking amazing. I can turn it, switch it any which angle. I can dim it and make it lighter and brighter, and I can change the color of it: warm color, white color, blue color.
I have a light. It's just not here because I'm not at the office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but just for like a desk light.
Oh.
And it has a wireless charger built in.
I might want one of those, you know. Share, group,
pair, stash,
poop,
complete.
Join us. Post. Done. Close, 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 close. Jackets, coats. And we're off.
Okay, kids, let's go.
Let me click record.
Oh, start recording your audio.
I got it.
Have you felt it?
Felt something. Oh, let me record my video too. We're getting there. You jumped right in too quick with the dick shadows.
You guys are so funny.
Snoodles, don't wait.
Hello.
Snoodles, don't wait.
Holy shit. Great CP penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Yeah, hey.
Looking. Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy Works Watching Podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
I'm trying to blend in.
My name's Mopar.
I am Commander Cody. With me today is Cy Snoodles. He's over here.
I got the turtles. The turtles.
Cy, tell me about your fantastic career as a singer at Jabba's Palace.
Well, it all started when I was just a little snoot.
I was trying to sing and then Jabba killed that Twi'lek. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, sorry. If you're listening, you have no idea what we're talking about. But once again, this is an encouragement for you to go and check out the live streams that we do. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. And you can watch live and you can talk to us about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. You always turn the music off. I was listening.
I would love to have it in the feed. But
much.
it kind of like gets warbled when we talk, so it's like more distracting than anything. So
I gotcha.
I'll mute that shit down. It's in the final once we post it. So
Oh sure. You guys are jamming right now, as we speak. Who's your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? I feel like there's an obvious choice, but there's a good blend of turtles. Which one's your favorite?
Yeah, I feel like it's a cop out to say Mikey, but it always has been Mikey. He's the goofy one.
You know, because he was the funny one.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you put anchovies on it, and
yeah, exactly.
But to be honest, I think if I had to pick one, I always liked Donatello. I liked the bow.
Yeah.
I just liked his bow staff thing. Bow
staff is cool, yeah, and he's like the tech nerdy guy.
Yeah, I actually did that with the Power Rangers too. I actually liked Billy a lot with the Power Rangers because he was like a nerdy white dude. Like I was just like, yeah. I mean, I guess I like Star Wars, so let's go Billy, go beat him up.
Where does Star Wars come into play with Billy?
Oh yeah, which one?
You said I like Star Wars, so I'm voting for Billy.
Billy Blue, baby.
I did also like Billy, and it had nothing to do with the show, and it had everything to do with the game because he had a double-sided bow staff axe in the Super Nintendo game. And there was a special move you could do where you would just like flip the axe like 20 times and do a bunch of extra damage. So
actually,
I was blue in the game.
If we're basing it directly off the show and the movie, I always like Zach because I always liked his Zordon or his Zord.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. The original Zords were the best. You
know, I was doing some quick, unknowingly research on the turtles when I was looking for my background here. And a Google suggested question popped up and it said, which turtle died? And I was like, what?
In
What?
In what? When?
What?
And
Exactly.
Why
So
and how?
I had to click on it. Spoiler alert. It's only 30 years old. But I guess in the original comics, they killed off Donatello.
Really?
I thought that was fucking brutal.
That's
so
high
that really
stakes.
makes me want to go back and buy the omnibus of the whichever's.
Yeah. What's an omnibus?
Make some noise here for a half second here.
What's an omnibus, Mopar?
That's isn't it a collection, like a full season of comics in one? That's what they
Oh
call it.
yeah. I know what you're saying now.
Butterclone
I recall
always had
seeing those on Butterclone's bookshelf when we lived together for many of the years.
many of the ones.
Brennan Quinn, how's it going?
Welcome to the
Bitch.
chat. We're talking about the turtles. The turtles.
Why
Girl.
don't you go Saw Gerrera? Turtles, you brought the turtles here to kill me.
Are we not still reptiles? Are they reptiles? Amphibians.
Good question. Yeah, amphibians, right? They're like in the middle. They're air and water. Yeah, that's why they live in the sewer. Is that correct? Right? Like a frog.
Yeah, they have to be amphibians, I would assume.
Yeah. Yeah, turtles are born under the sand on the beach, and then they go into the ocean. They hang out. They can do either one.
Yep.
That's why they're
and
badasses.
because of Jurassic Park, I know they can change sexes too.
Oh yeah, that'd be
That's-
a weird turn in the comics. The turtles all just turn into girls.
They all just start growing tits. Donnie, what's going on, Donna? What happened? Yep.
That's ridiculous.
That's one of
that
my-
is absurd.
I love talking retro. Everybody knows that, but that's probably one of my earliest favorite things that holds up to this day. I think the Turtles story, even though like the old cartoons for how dumb they are, I mean they're pretty decent to watch. You know, I remember I had the one VHS of the pizza that attacked them. It was like the toppings were radiated or something, and like the sausages like popped off their pizza and started attacking the city. It was funny.
That was the plot of everything in like the late 80s, early 90s. Everything was just radiation. Oh, the turtles are radiation. Now they're superhero ninjas. Now the pizza's radiated. Now it's an enemy.
No,
The rat is radiated, and now it's a giant rat.
Well, how are we gonna explain it? Just say orange goo, okay?
Yeah.
Or
Goo.
green ooze.
Or ooze. Yeah, Secret of the Ooze. Yeah.
Ooze.
And then Nickelodeon had ooze and gack and slime, or whatever you call it. That was just the thing to do in the 90s, man.
Pizza.
Yeah. I do love some turtles for sure. What is your? So I was listening to Revenge of the '90s a couple months ago, and they reviewed the Turtles movie from 1990, and I was like, all right, now I need to watch this, and I need to order a pizza. So if you're thinking Turtles, what kind of pizza are you going for?
Ooh, that's tough. It'd have to be extra cheese somewhere.
You can do toppings, or you can also do like pizza joint. Like which chain would you order from?
Oh, I'd do something very classic. It'd have to be just like pepperoni, extra cheese from, I don't know, Pizza Hut, maybe something. I'm not even a big fan of Pizza Hut, but it would just have to be something classic.
Yep. I went with Pizza Hut as well. I did pepperoni sausage, and I think on the VHS I had of Turtles, there was an ad for Pizza Hut before the movie started. It was like a baseball team, and they got done with the game, and then they ordered Pizza Hut, and then the Turtles movie starts. So I probably have it connected in my head, like Pizza Hut and Turtles go hand in hand.
Well, yeah. Yep. That stuff's pretty old. That's, I know the comics are mid to early 80s, but even the show looks like October 1st, 1988. So it's as old as us.
I was a month old, so that time's right up. No wonder I love the Turtles so much. And pizza.
Yeah,
I have a lifelong love of pizza because of that damn franchise.
Yeah, I blame it too.
Yeah.
Episode 6, The Case of the Killer Pizzas. That's the one I had.
That's ridiculous.
That's the one I had. It's the only one that matters, really.
Brandon wants to know, does pineapple belong on pizza?
Ooh, what do you think?
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah, fuck
good
everybody
Hawaiian.
else. Yep.
And the trick to the Hawaiian, they never like to add bacon for some reason, but you got to throw the bacon on there. Ham, pineapple, bacon, and I'll even go jalapeno every once in a while.
See, I always like the classic. Why are we talking about just only pizzas?
What else are we gonna talk about?
Really, Donato's.
Love
Donato's
Donato's because they throw that cinnamon on that beef.
They put cinnamon and roasted almonds.
Yeah. Sliced almonds.
Good.
Sliver.
It's really fucking good. Invasion. Okay.
God.
God
damn.
So, yeah. We've got some topics, actually. Surprising. For the first time ever, we've got topics to discuss.
We always have topics. We just don't get to them.
That's right. And actually, I have them listed on my phone, and I'm using my phone to record. So we're out of topics. So.
I have them on a note, which I can access from phone or computer. And I wrote down for today's topics, there was a first look trailer, little preview into The Mandalorian Season 2. Mm-hmm. And then they also announced that it is official. They are doing a Lego version of the holiday special. I actually wrote down Christmas special. My bad. Holiday special. And that's coming out on Life Day in about a month. So we got those to dive into.
No, that's a really good idea for
yeah.
things that far out there. Just, that Legos, even if it's a bad Lego movie, it's still a good movie. They've always done well across all platforms, all universes. They've always done very, very well. I love the Batman Lego movies. They're hilarious.
I haven't seen those, but yeah, I've heard they're good. I heard, well, we don't have to dive in if you have another topic that you would prefer to discuss previously
on the episodes. I finished episode 1 novel on the audio books. Yep. So I can kind of walk through that.
Whole Padme Mulberry.
Mangus. It's
Padmangus.
We'll get into that. It's good. I did see right before I Googled Star Wars, as I always do. StarWars.com just posted today, Inside Star Wars: The High Republic, Meet the Padawans. So we've got 4 characters that they released kind of sketches of, a little description, background on. I'm pretty excited. So we can kind of we'll screen share this with everybody that's with us live. But we'll kind of walk through the character design of them. It looks fun. That's what I'll say up front. So
nice.
And then I do want to kind of bounce something off of you. I'll just ask it now so you can kind of wrap your mind around it. In your perfect Star Wars universe, where would we go from here? We're after Episode 9. I'm just saying it for future movies. Where would you like to see it go? And we can tackle that now if you've got ideas, or we can kind of hold on.
Yeah, let's fucking dive into that.
Okay.
Do you are you saying movies? You're saying like whole franchise?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could do overview, but I mean, the movies are the franchise. Let's not dance around it. Because I mean, they've been pushing the boundaries with the one-off spin-offs and that sort of thing, and it was fun.
Yeah.
I listened to a quick little old video of ours, and we were discussing how Disney should not care about us, and they should just make a good movie. But what, in your mind, should be on the docket for the next 5 years? Call it.
I got two things that are stirring my brain right now. One of them is something that we've complained about, but I'm going to bring it up anyways, and that's sticking in the timeline that we have. But I would be really, really interested to see a Master Luke Skywalker and a young Ben Solo in between Episode 6 and Episode 7.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of time to play there, and I originally wouldn't say let's recast Luke Skywalker, but with how good Solo came out, I think you can do it right if you find the right person. So that would be super interesting. And obviously there's speculation or rumors that he could potentially pop up in Mando. Obviously, Mando's going to be looking for Jedi. Luke, not Anakin.
Oh, I was... Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I was so confused there for a second. Go ahead.
Anakin's child.
All of them.
So, yeah, I mean, he could potentially get recast with a younger actor and pop up in Mando Season 2, and that would bleed into a new set of movies. However, I don't really need 6 hours of Luke Skywalker. So my original idea and my true desire is to explore the Old Republic.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a cop out. I don't blame you because I think everybody wants to see some sense of the Old Republic.
Yeah. And we don't have to redo Revan, and we don't have to try to like convert KOTOR from movies.
Mm-hmm.
I just like that setting. It's like stuff that it's the reason that we love KOTOR so much. It's like the universe that we're familiar with, but in such a different way. There's thousands of Jedi. There's thousands of Sith.
Yeah.
There's thousands of Mandalorians.
It's because you're talking about the only thing that carries over are like cultures. Like the Mandalorian culture is still there, but individuals it's completely wiped. And you could really push it as far as like settings, planets, different things. Like you go far back enough, and like we said, we could get interesting and have water on Tatooine or something weird. Like, and it, they can explain it over thousands of years as what happened. But a big old dust bowl. But yeah, I think when I was doing all my drivings, I finished up episode 1 today, so I was kind of just in that mindset of where to go next. And
episode 0.
I think it. Well, it's that's a logical next step, but I'm not logical, so it does say something that I've tried maybe 2 or 3 novels in the sequel trilogy era. None of them stuck. And I immediately go back and I blow through a Clone Wars novel. I'm in the middle of the second one. I blow through a Labyrinth of Evil. I blow through episode 1. And it's like, what? Why? What is the difference? Is it nostalgia? Is that the one thing I'm going back to? Is it the setting? Like I care more about the Republic. I want to know what happens while it's still somewhat at its peak or at its tipping point. Like there's a lot of stress in the whole galaxy at that point. So it's a cool era. But like, I guess prequel trilogies is like pre-tipping point. Original trilogy is like post-tipping point, and then it's like the sequels is just like picking up the pieces. I feel like. So I just feel like the sense of things, the pressure, the deceit, everything it's at a higher point in the prequels. I don't know. I like it. The character developments, all the different types of characters, the Utapau, like you go into settings, there's so much fun stuff. And I think that's what's wrapping it all back around. I think that's what they could do if they go back in time. Call it 2,000 years, create some new goddamn characters, make a fucking, that's the name of the planet. Okay, who gives a shit? Like no one cares. You could do that and no one cares. Now
a lot of people will care, but
yeah, I'll agree. As much as I hate the era, there is one story that I still think needs to be told that isn't, and it's funny because everything's wrapped around him. It's Darth Vader. We see Anakin Skywalker so much in the prequels. He's number 1. And then we get to the original trilogy, and while he's one of the main characters, he's not on screen doing much.
Right.
Like he's a pivotal character. Obviously he's dad, Yeah. But you don't see him like there's that gap between 3 and 4 that everybody should fear this dude. And then we get to episode 4, and there's like some fear. His own officers fear him, but outside of that, it's like, even Leia talks shit straight to his face. Like you're like, oh God, like what? You shouldn't be doing that, but she does. I guess
she's a unique case. I guess
the other reason this whole Vader story was sparked in my mind is I watched YouTubers react to the end scene in Fallen Order. I think I told you that. And it's so good. Like the reveal of Vader coming out, destroying the Inquisitor, spoiler. Like the Inquisitor's the evil person the entire game, and you get to the end and she's just slaughtered by the real enemy.
Oh yeah. Casually.
And you're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. What happens in Rogue One? A bunch of stuff and there's some characters. Then Vader shows up.
Right.
That's all that anybody cares about.
Gotta loop him back up. Yeah.
But like that book, that's what I'll say. I just want to see Vader hunting down Jedi. They're already making comic series with that. I just want to see it on
They've
screen.
always been making comic series with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to see it on
pivotal.
Screen.
Well, now that you bring up Fallen Order, I mean, I could really see something I could really see Fallen Order as like an era stretched out over movies, away from just the video games.
The surviving Jedi era, like the
just in hiding.
Yeah, Ahsoka hiding, the Cal Kestises. Like not everybody dies.
Yep.
It could be really fun, and there could be that essence of terror with Vader roaming the galaxy, and people slowly realizing who he really is. Like there's such heavy themes to Vader in between 3 and 4.
And there will be an interesting way for them to try to tie it together, because you basically have a 20-year period, and at the end of it, it's still just Luke. Yoda's still in hiding. No one has found him. And no one has made contact with Obi-Wan, or at least he's decided to just stay on Tatooine and wait for Luke to, wake his ass up. So regardless of what happens in the era, it still relies on Luke Skywalker. So maybe the Jedi try to rise back up and the Inquisitors squash them. Maybe they stay in hiding and they don't accomplish anything and they gradually fizzle out. Maybe Ahsoka is the only person left by the end of the, 19-year stretch. They could go a lot of different directions with that.
Yeah. It would be interesting if Ahsoka reached back out to Obi-Wan on Tatooine at some point.
I would love that.
And somehow like made a difference. Like Obi-Wan was going to do something, and Ahsoka's like, no, Master, you need to chill out, stay here with this kid.
Right.
He's our last hope.
Yeah, because you got to think, I don't know. If somebody made contact with Obi-Wan Kenobi, there has to be a really good reason for him to just stay on Tatooine and not do anything. Mm-hmm. We know the good reason. It's Luke. But, like, expanding on that, like, if he realizes that there's a dozen Jedi in hiding that are still alive, how does he ignore them and stay, just waiting for Luke to clean his dusty britches off?
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess next 5 years, what I'd like to see is them to build something early on.
Yeah.
And keep adding. I don't want fan service stuff. Like if you're going to do original trilogy era, if you're going to do Galactic Empire era, create new storylines. You can have Vader in there, obviously. But, well, honestly, you know what I want to see is a goddamn Vader movie where we're inside his head. He's struggling with the Emperor, because there's a lot of tension there too, which I don't
think we're gonna get it, man. I don't think it's gonna happen. But
like, you know how much money that would make. You know how that's fan service. That's pushing new boundaries. That's getting inside of Anakin's head. That's all we want. That's all we've ever wanted. I don't know. Just give me a Vader something.
But they've spent so much. I feel like there's room in between movies and stories for filler material. And I feel like they've been doing Vader comics about him and his inner struggles and his personality for so long that there's no more room left in between those like niches for them to do a whole movie. They would have to rewrite everything. You know what I mean? I feel like they spent probably like 3 or 4 years of doing a Vader comic series where he gets to go through all that.
Why would you do that when you have the opportunity to just... Vader's the easiest person to do. Just throw someone in a suit.
Yeah, the voice is important, though.
It is.
We all heard the end of Rogue One, and it was almost there, but not really.
I'm not gonna lie. I've heard other people voice him, and
I'm sure they could.
It's not different enough that it really hurt my feelings. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah, he's always different. He's always different in the comics. Like in Rebels, it's a different voice actor. Yeah, and in like Clone Wars at the very end when he shows up. Yeah. So I don't know, but especially with the way that Clone Wars ended, I feel like, and the way that Fallen Order ended, I feel like there's material there for all of us prequel fans who are now 30 years old to get tickled with new content, but it is still fresh. So yeah, but I don't know. My heart just always goes back to the Old Republic.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there.
Fire up KOTOR and get some vibroblades going on.
How interested are you, be honest, are you actually in an Obi-Wan series? Are you like 100% hyped?
Is it? Yes. Sorry, I was going to ask you if that was happening, and then I had to smack myself internally. Yeah, I just don't know. It's kind of what I was saying earlier about like, what's he going to do? And what is he going to fail at doing such that he goes back to Tatooine and just waits?
Well, and that's kind of so... You got to have a story. There's got to be a problem, a climax, a resolution at some sort. And you're like, dude, the dude's camping out in the sand. Like, you're gonna create a whole storyline. I don't know. I don't know.
He probably has things to do. I mean, when Luke's a baby, he's not getting into anything. I mean, he's getting into things in like the farm, and he's being a bastard. But like, he's not. He doesn't have to worry about protecting him when he's that young, because he doesn't have any thoughts. He's not trying to escape, whatever. He's not trying to go to the academy. So he probably has some room to, I don't know, leave Tatooine, explore, try to make contact with people that are in hiding.
Well, he's not directly protecting him. We're not going to sit here and act like he's got to go and physically protect this baby.
Right.
What he's doing is protecting the kid's identity. And who knows? So that might be a storyline that they can create, that someone somehow finds out or realizes who this child is.
And he's got to intercept.
Obi-Wan's got to do something about it, because if you can't have that news getting wide. Getting wide.
Wide ass news.
Getting wide. Oh, yeah.
Sitting down. That wide news, boy.
No, I just it's the whole
he's watching from a distance. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the whole Han Solo thing. I liked Solo. It's fun, but
it was great.
But like, let's kill him off to do a Han Solo movie. It's like, anything else?
Well,
you have anything else? Like, I appreciate the movie, but that money could have been put towards an amazing film. I'm not going to sit here and act like Solo was.
It was an amazing film. How dare you?
Oh my God, you're such a fan bitch.
Get out of here! What are you talking about?
I like the movie. It's really good. I'm glad they made
good.
it. I'm glad they made it, and it pushed boundaries, and it was fun. But again, I've had enough.
I've had enough. Watch it. Stop.
I've had enough of Solo, man. Just like if you're gonna choose between an Old Republic movie or doing Solo, it's gonna be Old Republic.
Yeah, but make Solo 2 happen is what Real Farm Boy says, and I agree with that shit. Solo 2, Jabba, Bounty Hunters, Boba Fett, Tatooine, everybody. I'm in. Let's do it.
No, I'm down for it too. See, the issue now is they can do whatever the fuck they want. They own a franchise that's paid for itself.
Yeah.
So they can get very, very creative. They've got their money back.
See, I wish we talked about the burnout and should they copy the Marvel trajectory, and I think Solo and Rogue One work well because they're snuck in between a larger trilogy of something. So like if we don't come back until December of 2022, and we find out that they're going to do that same kind of sequence where it's alternating years for a new trilogy and alternating years for like the spin-off movies, I think that makes sense. If they come back and like just do Solo and then disappear for 2 years, like, yeah, that's a problem.
Well, that's how I feel like they've been doing. Let's do Rogue One, back off. Solo, back off. We'll do Obi-Wan series, back off.
But that's that was happening every year for a while there.
Yeah. Yeah. But
not to say Solo can't stand on its own, but I'm saying like it fits best. I think it fits best as a distraction from the main Star Wars thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a fine line. It's a fine line, guys. I liked Solo. I actually really liked Solo. It was a lot better than I expected. I'll say that. It is lower on my list. I mean, it's hard to say. It's probably
we haven't ranked in a while.
Yeah, it's hard. There's so many fucking movies. I'll rank them and then forget like 3 of the movies in my rankings. Be like, oh wait,
thanks Disney.
Episode 4 did happen.
It used to be so easy. It was just like 5, 1, 4, 6, 3, 2. And now I have to be like 5, 8, 4, 7, Rogue 3, Solo 9, 8, 11, Solo. Did I say Rogue One already? Rogue
KOTOR.
2, KOTOR, Labyrinth of Evil, Republic Commando, Republic Commando. Sorry, I'm mumbling over here.
Oh man, I was listening to a Weird Al album today. An album. Why didn't he capitalize on that?
Oh,
Weird Al's the smartest human being of all time. He did make an album.
He didn't need to.
Weird album. Weird album.
He probably
make
has.
it.
Look it up.
Sign it up.
It's probably some random playlist on Spotify though.
The Weird Album.
Get it? It's a pun.
I think I'm a clone now. I think I'm a clone now. That had me thinking about clones.
No shit. You don't say.
No, it was funny because it was so obvious, and I was like, oh, I haven't heard this song in a long time. Oh, it reminds me of the Clones and Cloners, and he said I can stay home and send myself out for pizza at the same time and shit. I was like, this dude's fucking. It's hilarious. He's so smart. It's one of those guys that I can't believe he got as popular as he did, and I can't believe he's still as good. Like his stuff's so ridiculous. 0%. I would have never bought into a Weird Al. Like if he early on, oh, this is what he's gonna do. We
literally did buy into it early on.
I
what
know,
are you talking about?
I'm just saying in the grand scheme of things, I can't believe he got as popular as he did. That's what I'll say. I think he's amazing, but I'm surprised at his popularity and that he has continued to create just great stuff.
I always appreciate when people are like, I'm doing this thing and I'm just going to keep doing this thing and it doesn't matter. I'm not going to change it. You guys like me, you guys don't. Weird Al's one of those people.
He's unapologetically himself. Like he's just creative.
He's always made good music and funny parodies.
Yeah.
There you go.
This one's about cheese. Okay.
This one's about Amish people.
Exactly.
This one's about, these 7 are about Michael Jackson.
We're
not about Michael Jackson, but you know.
Yep. I was going through, after finishing up episode 1, I went to Weird Al, and then I went all the way back to Metallica, and I was listening to Back to the
combo.
Front. You will do what I say when I say.
Yeah.
And I was born for dying. Back to the Clones. I was born for dying.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, everything's about the clones right now. It's so good.
Well, what's one of the best additions to Star Wars, if I can say so myself?
It really did have me thinking. Like,
I love the clones.
Let's just say in episode 4, Obi-Wan never said Clone Wars. Let's just say he said the Republic Wars or something. Think of how different everything would have been.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea of cloning probably wouldn't have came up. It would have just been bad guys against good guys somehow, some way. I thought the cloning's a very weird subject to put in, and also it's very difficult to do right. And
wasn't his first idea to do like clones of Jedi versus clones of Sith?
I think so.
Someone can chime in on that. I don't know the history too well.
I think so.
I mean, it is. He kind of roped himself into that. If he was going to make the prequels, he has to include the Clone Wars somehow.
Well, I think in his original, when we say him, George Lucas.
Yes.
I think in some of his original ideas, he had stormtroopers, or actually just troopers, let's say, that had lightsabers. And I think they were clones. But it was just kind of like a weapon at that point that like plugged into their backpack or whatever. And that's how it was like energized or whatever.
Yeah. You didn't have to be a Jedi to use it.
Exactly. And then, I think it kind of trickled down and made it more of a elegant weapon.
For a more civilized...
For a more hammered age.
I was watching... so I've been painting my office. I tore everything down, and I'm painting it and kind of redoing it. So I'm actually at the house right now. But while I was painting, I've been watching Star Wars. And I was watching episode 2.
Okay, here we go.
And I know we really, really, really praised the prequels in the past couple of years.
No, episode 2.
But because I was painting, I wasn't watching it at all, and all I could hear was just dialogue. And I was just like, God, Anakin, what are you fucking creeper? What are you talking about?
You're so beautiful.
Don't look at me like that. Why not? It makes me feel uncomfortable.
I'm gonna marry you.
I haven't seen you in 10 years, but I love you.
You know, in my drive, I have a lot of time to think about stuff, and that's where I make connection between Metallica and clones. But I was thinking about that jump from episode 1 to episode 2 and how, I don't even know what the right word is, abrupt. Like you go from 9-year-old Anakin to... We're assuming he hasn't seen Padme for, let's call it, 8 years. How old
10.
Is he supposed? He's supposed to be 18 or 19.
19, yeah, it's 10 years. I've thought of her every day since we parted.
What a freak
That's what
bastard!
He says.
That's like.
Well, you mentioned last week when we were talking about the novelization, it would be interesting if maybe he was like 13 or 15 or something when they find him. which would make way more sense. I mean, he's already over the age limit for training.
Yeah.
But at least if he was 13 and interested in a girl and then eventually falls in love with her, it wouldn't be so fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the timeline, you got plenty of time. You could make it a 5-year jump between episode 1 and 5 instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so weird. And the crazy thing is, and I'll get into more detail about episode 1 novel, but I'm so happy they kept a lot of this shit out of the movie. Look, the novel's not that great, but I'll get into a little more a little later. But that's a huge jump, and like Obi-Wan completely changes characters between episode 1 and 2. The hairstyles are all over, boys.
Sorry to kill a fly.
And then obviously the actor changed with Anakin, which you didn't have any other option.
Well, the hair change is important.
It is. There's
Shows his
time has
growth.
gone by. Look how long his hair is now.
I mean, they do that even between seasons of shows. But that's a big piece.
Yeah.
Same thing in the sequel trilogy, even though it's only been 3 seconds since you last saw these characters. Kyle's got a whole new wardrobe.
10 years, man. That's so fucked.
I know.
That's so fucked. And, it's the amount of obsession that Anakin starts with right up front with Padme is... We talked about it a little bit last episode, but it's so forced. It's so bad. It's so bad. Why do we like this shit?
I don't know.
It's so
I mean,
bad.
I guess it does. It's like, oh, okay. So it just hit me. So Anakin has a nostalgia factor for Padme.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
10 years ago, you were
everything.
great.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Well, like, he doesn't understand anything. Well, he understands some things, but not enough about that when he's 9. And then Padme leaves, and he has just this, like, perfect image of what Padme was or Padme is supposed to be. And he just thinks about that for 10 years. And then he sees her, and then she's super hot still. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I've just been dreaming of this girl for a decade.
Yep. And that's why he has to
see her again.
That's why he's got to consult with the Emperor, with Palpatine. Where can I learn about women? Not from a Jedi.
No, that's true. They will not teach you the ways.
They will not. You don't know where to go with it.
Oh, man.
It's bad. Yeah. Also,
it was,
just a 10-year jump is a ridiculous amount of time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The opposite problem of the sequel trilogy.
Well,
you guys went too far the other direction now.
Well, why don't we throw a movie in there where Anakin and Obi-Wan are struggling? They're very early on in their relationship. Let's call Anakin 15. Like, you could do it 4 years before episode 2, and he could be a little stubborn asshole, but he could start learning, because obviously there's a ton of growth. There's a decade of growth between 1 and 2 in Anakin's character, but he goes from happy-go-lucky slave that's just good at like flying to a Jedi. When he jumps on, this is gonna sound bad, when he jumps on top of Padme and cuts those worms, like, oh yeah, that is an amazing elite move. And
well, Obi-Wan talks about how he's like, Anakin's great and all, but his abilities have made him arrogant, and I don't know how to handle that. So like, I want to see those 10 years where he's getting arrogant. Like, I want to see him just being pure Jedi. Because we see him when he's a slave, and then we see him when he's like on the verge of like getting cocky and getting seduced by Palpatine. But I want the gap in the middle where he can just be like pure light side. It's like in KOTOR when you guys just on the blue side, all blue, foggy background, before you start stealing money from Duros.
Rural farm boy over here, he's saying, come on, Mopar, it's Palpatine, like T-E-E-N. I know. I'm making fun of the audiobook that the episode 1 audiobook, my guy.
Yeah, you ducked out early last week.
The dude says Palpatine the entire fucking time. That's why I'm giving the book 0 out of 14 stars. I can't. No one should listen to it. You can read it. Read it all you want. It's probably a great novel to read.
Yes.
But Palpatine.
Because you know how to pronounce things.
God. And Mayberry. Padme, Mayberry, and Palpatine. That's all I heard. Dude, when they were on Coruscant, I wanted to slip myself. Because it was back and forth between Mayberry and Palpatine. I was like, I can't handle this.
Yeah, that's why you got to read, man.
I want to know more about Maz Amedda.
Oh, Maz Amedda's the best.
Because he's with Valorum. I didn't really think about that.
He's like the what do you call? I can't remember his title, but he's like
the judicial
Secretary
branch.
of State kind of guy.
Yeah. It's interesting that he's for both of them,
Mm-hmm.
but he's obviously very close to Palpatine. I'm forever.
Well, it's like he's on the small council in Game of Thrones. Like the king changes, he picks a new king's hand, but some of the other people stay on board.
Yeah. Yep. Good.
Order, we shall have order.
Also, he sounds a lot better in the movie. In the book, he's like, "Can we please have order?"
Quiet the fuck down, bitches.
Hey.
Yes, Grand Vizier is what Royal Farm Boy coming in hot with the terminology.
Grand Visor. Sounds like something you wear when
that's exactly what the audiobook reader would say, Grand Visor. I think it's I think it's Vizier, actually, if I have to be so particular.
No.
Yeah, a Vizier is a high-ranking political advisor or minister. It actually comes from the Muslim political world.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah.
Cool.
So advisor to the main Muffa. Which makes sense. Want to advise Palpatine on the ways of taking over the galaxy.
Poor Valorum.
You think Maz Amedda was planted there by Palpatine?
That's what I'm asking. Like or did
Palpatine become Chancellor and then seduce him to his ways gradually?
I mean, either way, Palpatine had his hand in it for one way, whether he knew it up beforehand or
he's got his hands everywhere.
He's got a lot of them. That's why he hires Grievous. I need more hands.
Farm Boy, I appreciate your assistance, man. Thank you for the grammar lessons.
The Grammarlies. Yeah.
Vizier, yeah, you're right. All right, well. We've never been known for pronouncing things correctly, I just want to say. So we're right on track.
In fact.
Leviosa. Not
Leviosa.
Exactly.
Let me share my screen. Let's get into the new Padawans that we're going to be looking at here.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm excited.
I need to give you access.
I'm excited, to be honest. Honestly, I'm excited.
You excited, to be honest?
To be honest.
Are you honestly excited?
All right. So, Star Wars shared today. Nice. This is official StarWars.com. Inside Star Wars, the High Republic meet the Padawans. So we got a list of 4 Padawans. We got names and a little bit of background. Up front.
Hell yeah. We can't read this whole article, my
Yeah,
friend.
I mean, I read it, so I have a little bit of an idea here. So the first one we come across is a Wookiee.
That's all I need to know.
Buryaga.
I'll buy all the High Republic books. That's all I need to know.
He's a badass looking thing. Buryaga. Buryaga is his name. Look at his goddamn lightsaber. It's fucking epic, and it's like a great sword. Like I was talking about, it's a little less of what I wanted, but it's along those lines.
It's probably the size of actual people because Wookiees are so tall.
Well, and it does say in his little dossier up here that Buryaga.
You sure it's not dossier?
He's skilled with his 2-handed lightsaber.
Ooh.
So it's not. It's like a great sword. So it's a big old.
That's awesome.
Sword.
You think, but not to divert your entire process here, but as you were talking about, what would your next movie preferences be? Do you think if High Republic goes well, they'll expand it over into like film or series?
Absolutely. And they set up here in the High Republic showcase here. I'm not
showcase a wide range of young people in the hopes every reader can find someone they relate to. I don't know. I just saw the word showcase and I started reading. I mean, I feel like publishing is a lower risk opportunity to introduce an entire new set of stories and characters. Like if it doesn't go well, they don't lose as much money as if they dropped $350 million on a film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it says right here the story will be explored through multiple voices, span adult and young adult novels, children books, comics, and from a variety of publishers. So they're just going all in with this High Republic. It's basically
In
it sounds like
print, at least, yeah.
well, yeah, in print, and it sounds like they're just going all in. They're just going to create a brand new era, which is exactly what we want. Let's throw new characters in there, new style.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, Buryaga looks fucking psychotically badass. I want to know about Buryaga now. Yeah, he looks cool, and he's got like little braids in his beard.
That's awesome. I'm sold.
Yeah, I'm sold on him too.
Yeah, seen a Padawan braid on a Wookiee, so interesting.
Yeah, and it did say,
let's do this.
He has effortless ability to sense emotions in others that sets him apart from other members in the Order. So he can kind of just feel other people's feelings, I guess, feel people's emotions.
He can't talk to them about it, but he can feel it.
He's just a scrambling. He's just a rambling. We got our standard white guy. This is the next guy, Wreath Silas, and I know that Silas is a name that I've heard before.
Does anyone else think that should be backwards? Shouldn't it be like Silas Wreath or something? Silas is like an actual first name. I feel like that should be reversed.
That is 100% one of the random names on KOTOR. They're like, just keep clicking through. Wreath Silas, done. As long as he has a mullet.
Do you notice that they had the random name generator on Squadrons as well?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, when you're creating your character, you can randomly generate a name just like in KOTOR. It's one of the best parts.
Yeah. Wreath does seem kind of like your standard dude. His robes are kind of, I mean, just normal. His lightsaber looks kind of cool. He's holding a green lightsaber single-handed. Looks kind of cool on the hilt.
I will say one thing that I'm really digging thus far is that there is some ornamentation to their robes.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the prequels and original, it's very much just here's your tan tunic and here's your dark brown robe, and that's it. This actually has like some icons on it, a little bit of like trim. Looks like they got some extra shit around their belt. They got more of like a Batman style belt.
Well, and I'll flash through these really quickly, but one thing I am noticing is the different color belts. Maybe they're adding a little bit of martial arts aspects into the different colors of belts.
Yeah, or maybe it matches their class or something. So like they got, notice that they have
they are all matching.
He has a blue belt and blue saber, green belt, green saber.
It would be cool if they did something along those lines that you were now, if they did like black belt in lightsaber combat or something, if there was different insignias or something to badge them with,
or if they pulled over the Guardian, Sentinel, and Consular stuff from KOTOR. Would be cool.
Why not or create new ones. Who gives a shit? Let's go for it, because I think what they're going to be doing with all these different characters, and what I read through quickly in the dossiers up here, that all these people are going to be struggling with different
new words on this episode. We can't handle it.
all of these, it sounds dumb for me to say out loud, but all of these characters are going to be struggling with different issues, which it seems like in the 9 movies we've had, the one issue is parents, family. Like no one.
Yeah.
That's the only issue everybody's had.
Issue is don't turn to the dark side.
Yeah. Well, and it's a weird,
evil.
It's weird because it is a deep issue, but like that's the only issue anybody has. Rey, Luke, Leia, Anakin. I mean, you get into it, everybody's like, well, who am I? Like some fucking Wolverine, like where did I come from? Yeah.
Why do I have blades in my hand? I don't understand it.
Who did this? Yeah, so moving right along. So we got 2 out of the 3. Wreath Silas was the last one. We got Lula Talisola? Yeah. Talisola. She looks pretty cool. I like the light blue, the cyan lightsaber that she's got. Yeah, just a little different. She doesn't have the full robes on.
She's in training right now. She had to ditch those.
She's trying real hard. So she's going to be the goody two shoes. She's going to be the Hermione. It sounds like she loves the she loves the order. She wants to be knighted immediately. She wants to do it all the right way. So she'll be the Hermione of the group.
Meanwhile, Silas is wreaking havoc.
Pissed, and then we've got Furball,
He's just talking to everybody about their feelings. He's the therapist of the group.
So, and then last but not least, we got Bel Zettifar, who's holding a single-handed lightsaber, green lightsaber. I'm sorry. I love his robes.
Yeah, he looks fucking sweet. He's my favorite so far.
Yeah, he looks slick. Looks a little
Only
cocky.
He has a companion though. Who's his companion?
This is where I got excited. You know, this is all. First of all, we've said that the styling behind everybody looks cool. The unique lightsabers, the robes, and all. It looks cool. But throwing in a goddamn Pokemon takes it to the next level. Let me say something though. We've been so wrapped around droids as companions that the idea of having a pet that's very useful is such a cool idea for the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And he even has a name.
Dude.
Where did I see it?
Yeah, I need to know about this savage here.
A char hound named Ember. He literally has a Pokemon with him.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's like the ancient evolution of Charizard.
I don't even know what you would call. It's like a little mini horse rat with fangs.
Hound?
Char hound.
I want to look that up. Has that been in anything else before?
I can't
it's
imagine
brand
it's
new.
Yeah, it's got to be brand fucking new.
I mean, I figured they would pull in, like, I mean, you know, Star Wars. There's one thing that you guys have to really understand, Disney, is just because you're creating a new era doesn't mean everything has to be brand new. It's okay if you bring in another creature that we've already seen.
No, I want it all brand new.
I mean, I've been balls deep in Game of Thrones, so, you know, the direwolves, that's one of my favorite parts about Westeros and the Thrones universe. So the fact that we have a Jedi with like a companion animal is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's almost like a great idea for just training a Padawan. Like, take care of this thing. It's your responsibility. It'll prepare you for later in life when and if you become a Jedi Knight or Master to train your own goddamn, you know, Padawan. So take care of the goddamn horse beast that you got.
Mm-hmm.
Feed it the worms that it needs.
I love it. Yeah.
And let's go at it.
Yeah. As a dog owner, I relate to that.
So
he's my favorite. All right, Belle.
Yeah, I think they're all fun. I think they're all gonna have. We got our Hermione, we've got our standard just in case dude, and then we've got our and we've got our Wookiee. Everybody wants to see a two-handed single lightsaber blasting away Wookiee freak.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine him using force jumping into battle with the lightsaber overhead, doing a roar?
Slashing fucking tanks in half. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I need to see it.
I wonder what their conflict's going to be, man.
Well, they did. They kind of gave a little bit of backgrounds, like who they're. Let me click back here.
There's got to be like a little bit of Sith action happening, right? Because I know they're extinct, or they think they're extinct, but I feel like they could bring up some rumblings or some mysteries of the Sith here, and then, you know, 400, 500 years later, to Yoda's knowledge, it would still be like the Sith are extinct.
I'm okay with them not doing that.
How dare you?
Answer me this, though. Riddle me this.
I'll answer you whatever you please.
What if they don't do Sith? What if it is fallen Jedi? What if people do fall to the dark side, even outside of the Sith realm, and they have to fight each other because, you know...
Oh, they definitely do, yeah.
Because Bell gets pissed.
Yeah, it's a good question. I guess if someone is a fallen Jedi and they're turning away from the Jedi Order, wouldn't that be their first inclination, is to like go research or go to try to find teachings or holocrons about the Sith or Dark Jedi or something?
Wouldn't that be cool? That through the Jedi Order and these Padawans, they are actually learning more about the Sith by doing research, sending these people out. Like Bell falls to the dark side or something like that, and they're like, "Well, what happened? We've got to figure it out because this hasn't happened in hundreds of years.
Right.
What did he come across? We need to kill it. We need to, you know," and it could be something simple like a holocron.
Well, think of all that stuff that they dig up in the Dooku book. There's got to be a reason. There could be a reason for the Jedi to lock all that stuff up in the restricted section and try to keep everyone away from it. So, I don't know. I'm imagining ties everywhere.
Yep. I'm just hearing a light English accent that's condescending. Leviosa. It's...
That holocron is not open.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I am really excited. This is going the right way. I think more recently, Disney has done much better in pushing us in the right way with The Mandalorian, with this High Republic stuff, with Jedi Fallen Order. I think everything within the past like 2-3 years. Now, I love 9, but that's kind of we're wrapping the old shit up. They had to do it. I'm fine with that. It was fun.
Yep.
But we're finally gotten to that point where it's like, you know what? It's wide fucking open. Let's do what we want.
Yeah.
So, I just love the design.
This is the thing that people don't realize. Like, I feel like when you're if you're someone that doesn't like the sequel trilogy, I feel like if you're a Star Wars fan, you hate the sequel trilogy. When that is the high point, or not the high point, when that is the focus of what Disney's putting out, I feel like it's hard to picture like where Star Wars is going to go, because that's what's happening. It's all about those 3 movies. You don't like that. You don't like those characters. But give it time. You know, a couple years down the road, new series come out, new movies come out, High Republic comes out. There's a lot to love. So don't let one movie or one set of movies like, you know, taint the whole franchise for you. I think we have a lot in store for Disney.
I don't want to. It's a stupid argument telling people if they're a fan or not. That's dumb. But the fact that like people exist out there that would say the original trilogy is the only thing that's good is a ridiculous statement to me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like you are missing 90% of the content. Like how, and it's all built off the one thing that you love. Like the original trilogy is the beginning.
That's like saying Middle Earth is only the Hobbit book and not Lord of the Rings. It's like, excuse me, what?
You're missing most of it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. There are people out there that are like that, then that's fine. I can't wrap my head around it.
I love the prequel memes subreddit, and I saw that there was a sequel meme subreddit, and I joined it with optimism, but it's not good memes. It's just everybody being mad at Rian Johnson still. You know, there is an age group that we are in that can like that stuff. I feel like if you get too young, kids just trash on stuff just to trash on stuff, because it's popular to trash on stuff. I think you get too old and it's original trilogy fans. Right.
So there is that happy medium that I think we're open. We've been through the prequels. We've been through Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And sequels are not bad. They're we welcome them with open arms, with arms wide open.
And then you get really, really young, and those kids aren't even on social media, so they don't know better. So they're just enjoying it for what it is, and they do enjoy it.
Well, and yeah, maybe that was the first inkling. They saw episode 7. They're like, "What is this? All this? What is this?"
And then you get really, really old, and then they can't even remember what's happening by the middle of the movie. So they like everything. It's all like it's brand new again.
You get old enough, and they were in Star Wars a long time ago.
Yeah, he was like, "Is this what we were doing back then?"
Is that? I had a laser sword just like that.
Yeah.
So
I had a laser sword just like that.
Oh man,
are you my grandson?
Is this happening?
Sorry. Going down a treacherous path. No, I'm very excited, man. So I think we were originally supposed to be getting that stuff right about now, but it was pushed back because of COVID. So I think they're shooting for January, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't realize they pushed it back to January. I thought January was the original. So January 2021. We are not far from that. It says arriving. It just says the story will be explored January 2021. So I imagine maybe some young adult stuff. It is nice that it does say that it will span adult and young adult novels. So
and comics,
I'll be balls deep in the adult stuff because I want to, Star Wars is about murdering children. So let's get to it.
That has and still is the best scene. So I don't know what anyone's talking about.
Really?
I mean, why are you watching Star Wars if you're not watching that on loop?
How are you going to watch the original trilogy? Not a single child is cut in half. We barely lose limbs. Like we lose just a couple limbs. Like this is
one hand.
Sad, really. All right, let's jump.
Where have we gone?
Let's jump full. We're going to be dipping the nuts into the novelization here. I finished it up.
I'm excited for what you have to say.
Look, guys, if you didn't like episode 1, it could get worse. I'm going to say that.
I hate that. The novels usually make it better.
No, and I don't want to absolutely shit on the novel. I'm just saying I'm glad they didn't.
It deserves it.
I'm glad they didn't put a lot of what was in a novel in this movie. And I think simply they had to take a lot of it out because it just doesn't work.
Well, I'm curious about. I know it released before the film, but I want you to elaborate on that because normally the novel is written once the movie is done.
Yeah,
or at least when the movie is like done enough that they've stopped cutting and changing things. And or what if some of that stuff in the book was in the movie and they cut it out before it got to theaters?
Well, the small stuff like I talked about last episode where they start with Anakin. Like when you're doing a movie that just doesn't work, you don't want to start with the character you stumble across.
Right.
In a book form, it's nice to be like, oh, we'll start here, we'll go back and forth until they cross paths. Yeah. But I think in a movie form, yeah, you can't do that, which it limits the character development or, the Anakin's experiences and what he's been through while he's on Tatooine. We see a little bit of it, whether he's getting yelled at by Watto and, but it's very surface level. Like, okay, he's a slave. Mm-hmm. Watto yells at him, but to be honest, Watto looks like just like a boss of his. Like he's not his owner. He's literally just like clean up and then you go home, do whatever the fuck you want. You're like, okay, woo.
Yeah. Yippee.
But yeah, they do add some scenes in the book that are nice, but they also add some stuff in there that's just it's bad. It's bad. A lot of Jar Jar stuff, a lot of conversations. You're like, dude, just stop. It's simply that.
All right. Let me hear about him.
Jar Jar is too much.
It's mostly just Jar Jar everywhere.
Yeah.
Yusa.
It is. I'm gonna grade it first, and then I'll get into the reasons why. I think if we're gonna do our beer review, it's 1 out of 3.
Really? Where would you put episode 1 as a film? Would you say probably like 2 out of 3?
Yeah. I like the film. I personally think the film's better. The film is better. I think it feels more thought out. I think it feels more complete. The book jumps around a little bit. It has dialogue in there that's useless. There's like small stuff you get excited about, like post celebration, Naboo. Mm-hmm. The battle's over. There's a like a small snippet of Palpatine standing on Coruscant looking over the city, and he doesn't really even say anything. You're like, he kind of stands up there. He's like, oh, well, Darth Maul found his demise, but, I got my end result. I became Chancellor. Mm-hmm. And that's all. You're like, well, yeah. Is there anything else you can give me? Like, what's the plans? Did you, I mean, is Anakin, him? Like, there's no connection. They throw that stuff in there, and it's like, that didn't add anything. Like, while I like it, it doesn't. What? Stop it.
Oh, that's annoying.
Now, I will admit, the one thing that the novelization, it's all about Jar Jar, man. It made me appreciate Jar Jar's place in everything. Now, Jar Jar as a character, it made him look really bad. Just more incomplete. Like I said, the language aspect, the voice was all over the place. He was half Jamaican, half Asian. I mean, it was all over the place. And that was for all Gungans. It was way all over the place.
Well, that's the voice actor's fault.
Yeah.
But also, what if that's what George wanted because of his secret master plan that we may or may not completely ignore about Jar Jar being the king of everything?
It's like the king of everything.
Like, because, I mean, that's part of the thing is, like, when they're writing the novel, they're working with the director and, like, seeing what's going on with the movie in order to kind of relate the two. So if he's getting notes from George is probably like, oh, yeah, everything's going to stem from Jar Jar. He's actually the bad guy in 3 movies. That's a crazy thought.
I just to wrap it back up, like I said, I do appreciate his position in the story. Mm-hmm. Like, it's funny that, they stumble across him. Qui-Gon, you see it in the movie. Yeah. You kind of stumble across this Gungan, this local, but he's the only Gungan that they could stumble across that could unite the Naboo, and the Gungans, because if you stumbled across any other Gungan, they're going to hate the Naboo with a passion, and they're not going to want to deal with him at all. Because Jar Jar's been quarantined, he has to fend for himself. He's on his own, so he's it's almost like, yeah, I am a Gungan, I'm a part of that stuff, but it's not as important to me anymore, and he's a simpleton, obviously. So he's like, he's the bridge of the entire Naboo culture, like bringing the Nubians and the Theeds.
The Thedians.
The Theeds. It made me appreciate his character. Not his character. Fuck him. But
what was the intent of his character? Maybe
I guess his relationship especially with like Padme.
Mm-hmm.
Like they bridge a gap that I don't think any other Gungan could. I think there is animosity, there is stress there that I'm not sure any other Gungan would have bridged that gap. So it is, and the fact that they take him out of his element and he doesn't fuck up that bad. Like they take him to fucking Tatooine, they take him to Coruscant, and he's like he's a part of a lot of it.
Yeah. Also, when it's all said and done, Padme brings him to Coruscant as part of one of the representatives for Naboo.
Yeah.
Someone can fact check me, but I think it was just the Nubians at first that were like in the Senate repping the planet of Naboo. And I think because of that conflict, she brought the Gungans into the fold there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, she basically elevated them up to higher status.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's, they play their part, and they do play a big part. The Gungan role in the last battle is huge to pull half the army out of the city.
Jar Jar's the key to all this.
It really is. It's funny. It's funny. When he's not talking, it's funny.
When he's not talking or doing anything and he's just sitting there, it's funny.
It's true. It's true. The relationships outside of that are very clunky, obviously. Anakin, Padme, very, very clunky. Anakin, Obi-Wan is a nightmare in the book. Man, do they just hate each other the entire book.
The Queen's wardrobe, maybe.
He's a dickhead the whole book. Obi-Wan, completely, his character switches. Well, you see it from episode 1, episode 2 in the films. He's just a condescending dickhead in the first one. And then he's like, oh, Anakin, you're so... You're like, dude, what the fuck just changed?
His abilities have made him arrogant.
And I'm high as fuck.
This force has got me fucked up.
Oh, man. Yeah. Look, if I had to give it out of like a 10 for a true movie rating, I'd probably give the book 6, 7.
No, that's way too high. From what you've described to me, I thought you were going to say like 4.
Look, it does. The issue is it doesn't add enough. Like
to make it even worth reading.
Well, you have to be a prequel fan to start off. If you hate Jar Jar and you're not a prequel fan, do not read this book. It's early on, and like we said, it was released before the launch of the movies, the relaunch. So, like, you got to take it with a grain of salt. And there's a lot of stuff in there that just doesn't add up. There's a lot of stuff in there that there's obvious reasons they took it out of the movie or you know, whatever. I just
Brendan for a prequel, that you listened to it first, it ruined it for you.
Yeah, I mean, for if you're a prequel fan, I'd give it a 6 or 7. Yeah, but if you're not, I would pass this one. I would pass on it.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, I don't think it adds enough. One thing that I'm sure I realized, but when they're talking about training Anakin, I guess I didn't realize Yoda voted against it. Even after Qui-Gon dies, Yoda literally says in the book, he says, even though I'm not, long and short of it, even though I'm not okay with it, the council has approved you training him. And it was like, Obi-Wan's like, wow, like, I can't believe he's saying that. And it's getting that personal. Usually he would just say yes or no, the council. But he's like, I'm not okay with it. I think the kid's a psychopath.
Yeah, that's interesting, too, because when they first bring Anakin in, everyone says no. Mm-hmm. So they must have had a re-vote or something? Is it? I don't know.
Well, after Qui-Gon dies, they level up Obi-Wan. He becomes a knight at the end of the book. And in doing so, they kind of reevaluate Anakin because of what he did with the droid ship above him.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, this kid is really fucking crazy. And if he wasn't there, we'd all be dead. Because the Gungans were losing. The Gungans were losing out in the field. You know, everybody was fucked in Theed, in the palace.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though Padme figured out a way to get Newt alone in the throne room, there was destroyer droids right outside. Like, they were fucked.
Right.
So if Anakin didn't do what he did, none of them would be there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the switching point for the council. But it is interesting that Yoda was the one to be like, look, I clicked no and highlighted my answer. No, this kid's not it. Which is also interesting because you look at who else shits on him the whole time. Mace, the number 2 guy.
Right.
So it's like your top 2 said no, but everybody else was like, yeah, he seems pretty cool. I don't know. He can fly a ship.
That's democracy.
A speeder. Well, it is a speeder. He's pretty smart, too.
It's weird that they allow votes, though. Why doesn't the whole council vote to have girlfriends? Like, if you could you just propose new amendments to the council code and just be like, can we all, like, get laid, please? I'm going to vote for that.
Yeah.
Yoda says no.
It's like a sexual purge. They just, like, this week we can go crazy, and then we go back to being Jedi after that. Just once a year.
Yeah, it's like whatever the Amish thing is that they have to do. It's like, now you go be a vagrant, and then if you like that, you stay, and if you don't, you come back to the Amish way of life.
Yeah.
The Jedi are basically Amish without horses and farms.
Yeah, I don't know. It did seem like actually, let me see here.
I mean, I know they use technology and everything, so maybe not technically, but close enough.
Let me see if I can find this. What I was thinking of is the idea of Amish. You said
What did that make you think of?
the High Republic thing that we just went over. The 4 new characters. One of the backgrounds was something along the lines of like, and spreading the light to the new. Oh, right here, where they work to keep the peace and spread the light, and that felt really religious.
Oh yeah.
So they're talking about Bell, the one character that we liked. Well, not the one character, but our favorite. So, dude, if they're like forcing the Jedi's point of view onto other
that's
planets
weird.
and species and cultures, there could obviously be a lot of stress. I think, without the Sith, they're stabbing themselves in their own back. They're shooting their own foot. Yeah. So, yeah, it could be good.
It's fucked up.
It's all fucked up. I'm excited, man. It's the doors are open. I haven't felt like the Disney doors have been open for a while. Solo and Rogue One, they were fun. They were really fun. But I finally feel like after we got past episode 9, we can move on and do some crazy shit. The Mando was step 1. We got Jedi Fallen Order. This High Republic stuff's fun. The idea that they're going to do a Cassian Andor. They're doing a spinoff off of a fucking spinoff. This is so fun. And for a character that wasn't.
It's perfect though.
Yeah, it's gonna sound funny, but he's a deep character on the surface. Like they don't go into his background, but you can tell he has a lot of issues. Like he's a very deep character, you can tell, but they don't ever talk about any of it. I've been doing this since I was 6 years old, dude. That's intense. If we get to see a young Cassian Andor and what the fucked up shit that he's been through,
right? Yeah, like flashbacks or something.
Well, just like the super battle droids in Mando.
Right, with the Mando, yep, exactly.
That was my favorite part of the whole fucking thing, man.
Well, we've also never had like a true show or movie with like the birth of the rebellion and how it grows from, Mon Mothma and Bail and Padme in the Senate in episode 3 all the way through, the Death Star attack when everything is actually like happening for the first time. So it'll be interesting to see that through his lens. We're going to be on the ground with the rebellion for the first time, which is cool.
Well, and it's really going to, I hope that it makes the rebellion look a little dirtier than it is. They're not.
They have to be. I mean, they're ragtag.
Yeah,
they have
exactly.
To, they have no money. They have to,
they've got to
do some tricks.
They got to make it happen. And, information is key, and they better murder some children over information.
They have to. Like I said, if it's not children murdering, then there's not even Star Wars on the screen. I don't know what we're watching.
Yeah, if I don't have an evil pizza attacking me or children being cut.
Where's the radiation in Star Wars? Come on, that's how Jedi get their power, right? Come on.
I know we need some ooze in
Yes.
Ivan ooze.
Get off the Force ooze. Yes.
We should make a meme with Ivan ooze sitting in the Emperor's throne in Episode 9. I have been in your head this whole time. Oh,
yeah.
So a good way to wrap all this up. If you're
Okay.
still with us, thank you.
Yes.
Jesus.
I also think it's good that you're going to wrap it up because I think we save the Mando stuff for next episode, and that'll be like a preview, like right before the season drops.
Yeah. That's right around the corner. I'm pretty excited. I was thinking, based on Episode 1, the novelization, like a quote reveal of a character. Now it wasn't the initial reveal of Darth Maul, but it got me thinking that his reveal on the hangar bay on Naboo, when he whips out the double lightsaber and he finally ignites it, that's one of the coolest like reveals that I've seen in Star Wars. There's 2 others outside of that one that are probably my top 3, but if you want, I'll start naming those off, and then you can kind of think about what your favorite. It could just like I said, he wasn't even revealed in that scene, but it was like the official "Hey bitch, I'm here" scene.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I like Snoke in Last Jedi when Kylo walks into the throne room.
Okay.
Because obviously we have the oversized silhouette in 7.
Yeah.
And even when he first pops up in Last Jedi, it's just his face as a giant hologram, and he smacks Hux on the floor. And then Kylo walks into the throne room, and then you get to see everything, all the red, and you get to see Snoke's tall, but he's just a dude, and he's on that throne.
Yeah. Snoke's a good one. I actually do, and I'll make a side note one. Just the initial Kylo Ren in Episode 7 when he marches off the fucking ship, chokes and cuts people in half and kills the old dude and stops the bolt. Dude,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
he is Satan walking into this little village. Is really cool. But that actually didn't make my top 3. So two of them, and I've already named the one. The other one is also Darth Maul. The Darth Maul reveal in Solo is one of the things that I was like, that wasn't even on the docket. That wasn't an option. His name wasn't on the ballot, and I did not vote for him, but he's here, and I'm okay with it. And I'm so excited because they wrapped such a hardcore.
Oh, yeah. So many things in just that one, like, 30, 60-second scene.
Yeah. They wrap a lot into how everything connects with one character, and it was really fun. I mean, the idea that Han Solo was minutes away from like viewing a Darth Maul is a connection that doesn't work in my brain. Like Han Solo is so hardcore original trilogy. Darth Maul's Episode 1, and that's it.
Right.
And you're like, those characters should never cross paths, and they were so close.
They almost did.
In fact,
and if we get a Solo 2 or 3, it could happen. I mean, he's leading the fucking crime gangs.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was hitting on Kira, who's, Maul's new apprentice or number 2. So
basically,
it's fucked.
Kira is the Tarkin to Maul's Vader.
Yeah. I that reveal, I was like, fuck, this is awesome.
I'll never forget that story. We were getting ready in the theater, and Ren was just talking mad shit. He's like, "Oh yeah, spoiler alert! I heard it's Darth Maul's gonna be showing up," and we're like, "Oh, that's fucking hilarious." And then he actually happens. And he was like, "I didn't know that. I was fucking with you." We're like,
he's like,
God.
"What? I didn't know."
Of all characters to come back, that one was one of the least likely.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
All right, what's your number 3 then?
My number 3 is actually in Episode 9 when we first see clone Palpy. Right at the beginning, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. Like you hear him taunting Kylo on the way through Exegol under the fucking floating cube and all that shit, and then you finally see his face and he's rotting, and I'm like. Like the idea is not as great as like the idea of a clone dying Palpy is like, yeah, but the way they visually put him there and how he's taunting Kylo and everything coming together and the Sith and all the experiments and you see the dead Snokes, the failed Snokes, everything's right there, and then it turns and there's lightning and the sound. That's probably. It might be my number one. It really might be because it was just like we finally got a actually scary demon dude, zombie, clone, like every adjective you could put in there. It's zombie dying at clone evil devil dude.
It's everything, man.
Do you see how excited I got about it? That's why
I'm
probably
ready.
number one.
Episode 9, baby. Episode 9.
Might have to watch that. That's got to be on the docket here soon.
I will agree with you about Kylo busting out of that ship in episode 7. So good. Slaughtering everything before you realize that he's got beautiful hair and he's hurt inside.
Before you realize that Pantene is holding everything together.
Exactly, yes. Shit, I don't know. I'm on the spot with picking a third one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things. Like Grievous is fun, but it's not like a crazy thing.
He's coughing. What's fun
about
that?
Whoa. I forgot about probably the best thing that's ever been. The first time we see suited Vader in 3 is pretty fucking cool, man.
Oh, on the table, yeah. But he ruins it by screaming no.
Yeah, but the initial where he gets up and he moves just a little bit and you hear him breathe for the first time.
Yeah.
That was just a beautiful scene. But yeah, the no is.
I like that. Yeah.
So.
I like when Obi-Wan sees all the clones for the first time on Kamino. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I guess if you consider all the clones as one character, which they kind of are.
Yeah.
That's always fun. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just cinematography's gotten so much better because we didn't name one thing in the original trilogy. Just remember that. There's
fuck the original trilogy.
Like what? I
get goosebumps when we find out that the cave is actually a worm.
When Wicket puts on the hat and he's just amazed.
Yep.
No.
Yep. I almost actually. It's funny that you said that. I was thinking about when you were talking about Palpatine. I was thinking about when his shuttle lands at the beginning of 6, and he creeps out with his cane and talks to Vader for the first time. Because other than that transmission, that's the first time we see the Emperor.
No, that's a good point.
I do like that.
No, it's a valid point. I was trying to think about when Luke finally confronts Vader in 5 on Bespin, how Vader's standing there like just a fucking devil statue, and when Vader ignites his lightsaber, you're like,
slow.
Oh man. That's one of my favorite ignitions of a lightsaber. Next to Malik, when Malik taunts you, or I think it's when Malik was taunting Bastila. He freezes your team and Bastila goes after him, and he like waves forward or something, and then it's just a slow ignition. It's like a fucking taunt.
Oh yeah, everything Malik does is great except for his name.
Except for Swiss Guard is Swiss one.
Alex Swiss Garders.
Yeah, if you guys haven't listened to our last episode, just Google Malik's last name from KOTOR. I guarantee you, you'll be
Malik's original name or whatever.
You're gonna laugh and cry all at the same time.
All at the same time.
Guaranteed.
Come back and delete this podcast.
And then you're gonna.
Please don't.
Rated 0 out of 5 stars. This podcast taught me the true last name of Malik. This sucks. Ruined Star Wars.
It does ruin Star Wars for you if you think about it.
Yeah, and then if you guys are big fans of the show, we'd love to hear from you. And you know what? Email us, Zoom us, yell at us. What your favorite reveal is? It could fuck it. Let's do outside of the movies if you wanted to. You know,
leave
that
a comment
reveal
on this web zone. What is your favorite reveal of a Star Wars character?
The reveal of Vader in Jedi Fallen Order, Fallen Order.
There you go, Brennan. That counts.
It's fucking crazy, man.
I actually that was a good one for me because I didn't see whatever those ads were that had Vader in it before I played it, so I lucked out and I still got surprised.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's so cool because she just freezes. Like you beat her, and then she's like, "I had so much hate for you," and then she just freezes and looks like she's half choking, and then you just hear him breathing.
So
and he appears above you and jumps down. You're like, see, I watched that scene. Well, I watched others watch that scene. I was watching reaction videos, but it's cool the cinematography that they did because when he jumps down behind her, Seer and Cal jump back and ignite their lightsabers out of just pure fear.
Yeah. And
it's like their reaction alone is just legitimizing this devil that just showed up. And you're like, yeah, they're like, you thought this girl was the real issue? we're all fucked now.
Right. You have no chance. Get out
And
of
I'm
here.
glad you don't have a chance. Spoiler alert. You're just surviving.
Yes.
You do not
Yes.
get the fuck out.
Run.
All right,
But you
guys.
still can.
Reach out to us, yell at us, rate, review,
Do all the things.
meme our faces.
That's been the most fun lately. Whatever's most convenient for you. We haven't got a drunken email in a long time, so just
I know.
drink 7 beers and email us. RogueSquadronPodcast@gmail.com.
Have some breakfast.
We love you.
Good day, Galaxy. We have it.
Ooh.
Took away from it.
We have it. Oh, all right, Brendan, Cameron. Cameron will catch you over on the WhatsApp. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. You guys are dedicated.
Yeah, you guys are kind of cool.
We've been changing up the days, and you guys are here every time, no matter what. We didn't even announce it. You're ready. C Money signing off, aka Turkey Sandwich. Yeah, I'm calling you Turkey Sandwich.
Turkey sandwich.
Or-
Mayo, the force be with you.